the pleasure of introducing Dr. Haq. Dr. Haq grew up in Pakistan, where she studied medical school. In 1968, she moved to the U.S. and did her postgraduate training in pathology. She stayed home for a while and raised 2 sons and a daughter, got married, and she worked until 2010 when she retired, and now she is finding the new meaning of life. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Haq.
Thank you. Let me greet you all with the greeting of peace. Peace that I wish to all to enjoy a life, an inner peace of tranquility. Our previous speaker was talking about the immense stress that we go through in life. And believe me, it takes age and wisdom to realize that many things that we stress over in life are really not important at all. And that is the reason why taking a break every so often is so important, to really get to the feeling that it really doesn't matter. It is not that important. Things will happen as they are meant to. We will make mistakes in life, and mistakes are not a tragedy. Mistakes are an opportunity to learn and be better. Matter of fact, successes can go to our head, but mistakes make us humble, and they make us grow. So consider every mistake an opportunity to improve yourself. You have to be 70 years old to understand that. But having learned it, I would like to really share with you some of the mistakes I made in life, which I share with you. So perhaps all the beautiful young people who are sitting here don't have to repeat the same mistakes. Wise men say, learn from the mistakes of others, because life is too short for you to make them all yourself, okay? So, I was young, as all of you are, and ambitious and eager to learn. Also because I was very short, I never made it to 5 feet in height. I could never get fair, like being fair is a sign of beauty, and I'd keep looking at my arm because this side of my arm was dark, but this side was fair. And I thought perhaps I was becoming fair because this side had started getting whiter. So, this is the way life goes. You're always striving for something you don't have without realizing that you already have so much. So, my first thought that I'd share with you is, want what you have, and you have everything you want. Take stock of life and see how we can get up in the morning, we can jump out of bed. There are millions of people who cannot do that. We open our eyes and we can see the beautiful sunshine. We can enjoy a new day. It's a gift. We are blessed. And just the fact that we can walk and we can talk and we can see and we can hear is a great blessing. And we already have so many gifts. Why do we have to yearn for some of those elusive, materialistic things for which we spend so much of our energy and time? So if you want what you have and you look around your house, I would just ask you to do a little trial. Go through your wardrobe and see how many dresses there are that you haven't worn for 6 months. Maybe some you haven't worn for a year. Did you really need them? Why did you buy them? Oh, just at the spur of the moment. Did you pay cash or credit? Credit, oh my God. You indebted yourself for something you neither needed nor wanted, and now it's been standing in your wardrobe for years and years. So, a lesson to learn, simplify life. Live simply, enjoy what you have, because by the grace of God, most of us have more than what we need. If you really take stock, look at the number of shoes we have. I'll tell you a story about shoes. Long time ago, I went to my village in Pakistan, and I saw all these little children wandering around without shoes. And it made me cry, and I said, no, this is the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to buy shoes for all the children. So we had the shoemaker come into the village. All the children were fitted and everyone was given a pair of shoes. A week or two later, I went visiting to the village again, and I saw all the kids wandering around without shoes. So I called them. I said, what happened to your shoes? And they said, Miss, I only have one pair of shoes. And if I wear them all the time, they're going to break. So I just wear them to school. Think about it. I came home and looked at my line of shoes, and I said, I'm never going to buy another pair, ever. Because for every pair of shoes I buy, I could buy 20 for the kids in the village. So, you know, sometimes we get lost in the fact that, oh, someone else is so much more endowed than we are. But honestly speaking, each one of us is so blessed. And at this point in life, of course, because now I'm 70 years old and I realize all the mistakes I made, I look back at life and I remember the happiest times in my life. We were young residents. I was paid $4 an hour as a resident. 1968. And my husband was getting $5 an hour. So the two of us started our life in a studio apartment with rented furniture from the hospital. And if I tell you that that was the happiest time in my life, I just had a studio, rented furniture, one set of melamine dinnerware, and one set of one of those very inexpensive non-stick cookware. And we had the best time. We moved on to the bigger, the better, and all that, but the happiness did not grow with it. And then I found out that so much of my life was spent taking care of the things that I had accumulated. Why? Do you realize that the bigger house we have, the more we have to clean it, polish it, decorate it, keep it, do this, do that? But why? Do we really need all that? I learned a lesson. Live simply so others can simply live. Just think about it. Live simply so others can simply live. Because sometimes we have gotten too carried away with consumption. Now when I buy a product, I have to worry what's going to happen to it when it does not work. It's going to end up in a landfill or in a recycling machine or somewhere. You have to worry about what you consume because the consumption ends up in pollution, in destruction. So be very careful and conscious consumers. Buy only what you need and please pay cash for it. Being debt-free is being free. Don't ever extend yourself beyond your capacity. Believe me, it may seem strange, but you will live a more peaceful life. Your heart will be at peace. At night you'll go to sleep because you don't have too many bills to pay. You don't have loans to pay off. It will be a simpler, happier life. And now that I've gotten older and have retired and have time, I learned something which is so wonderful. The greatest joy in life comes from giving, not from getting. It's not what you gather, but what you scatter in life that really matters. And the most beautiful thing you can scatter in life is a little bit of joy. You know, there are so many lonely people in this country. They're old and they're lonely. They may be sick and they're lonely. They're homeless and they're lonely. And all they need is a few moments of your time where you can just tell them that you care for them, that you would like to buy them a little bar of chocolate, or you might get them a little flower and sit and talk to them. My experience started with volunteering for Meals on Wheels. And it was the most heartbreaking experience for me when I would knock at the door and tell an old lady that I had brought lunch for her. She'd tell me, please come inside, please come and sit with me. And they would start talking, and I'd say, no, I have to go deliver the meals for many other people. And they say, no, they can wait. You have to stay with me. And I realized that it wasn't the meal they wanted. It was the visit. And you know, there are so many of us who have the time, and we could do that. Another beautiful experience that I'm enjoying in life now is going to feed the homeless. You know, there are so many opportunities for us to help those who are helpless, to give voice to their concerns because they will not be heard anywhere. And we are all young, healthy, educated. Take a little time out. You know, when my friend said that we need to de-stress ourselves, believe me, the most joyous moment in my day is when I'm with my homeless friends. And they'll come up to me and then one of them say, can you find me a job? Or can you find somewhere where I can go and live with someone? And I promise you I'll serve them, I'll take care of them. Just find me a place to live. Then there is other places which are nursing homes. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a retired physician, and I saw medicine at its saddest, because the worst part of it was when the patient was discharged from the hospital and did not have a place to go. We would have to send them to a nursing home. And they didn't want to go to the nursing home, but they ended up there anyways. When you visit nursing homes, there are so many people whose children are far, far away. And I'm not blaming the children, because each one of us in their own generation is tied up with the need to work and take care of their children, their homes. Everyone has so many obligations. So some of these old parents get isolated in nursing homes. And there again, if you become a regular visitor, some of them will adopt you as their daughters. Some of them will mistake you for their mothers. I mean, I'm the mother to 90-year-old ladies because they just look at me and say, Mommy, where have you been? And it's the most, I mean, it just makes you feel good if you can hold their hand, comb their hair, put a little lipstick on them, tell them they look beautiful, and it makes their day. I mean, I worked all my life, but I really feel that these last 2 years have been the most fruitful for me. It gives me a sense of such joy to see that I can put a smile on somebody's face. And believe me, I mean, you are all young and you're building your careers and there's a whole lot going on in life. But honestly speaking, if you would take at least a few hours in a week to devote yourself entirely to making someone else happy, just do it selflessly, do it for the joy that you yourself are going to get out of it, and the joy that you'll spread around. So my first message is that be givers, because the givers are much, much richer than takers. So whatever you have of your time, your energy, share it. Share it with as many as you can, especially our old and lonely people. Another thing that I was quite thrilled, we as women, and young women who now have such immense skills, we need to become, like we have an organization called Grannies for Peace. I want to mobilize women to become women for peace. Because as you know, the gentlemen in our lives, which includes our fathers, our brothers, our husbands, our sons, they are given to quick decisions, and fight and flight is very much a part of their character. We as mothers, caregivers, people of love, would much rather solve problems by talking to each other. And we as women must now unite as women for peace. We'll say no to war. War is never the answer. There is no winners in a war. There are only losers. And I think, I mean, I know that perhaps today's is not the message for this, but you must all put some thought into it, mobilize and form small groups so we can form a countrywide movement as women for peace, or mothers for peace, or sisters for peace, but that we will promote peace wherever we go. And through peace, we'll find true joy and leave this world a better place than we found it. One last tribute I'd like to pay to my mother, who was, I mean, I think woman is glorified in motherhood, and our mothers leave us with the best legacy for life. My mother taught me a few good lessons, and I'll just share them with you. My mother would always say, before you point a finger at another, always look at your hand and see 3 fingers are pointing at